The continuation of reproductive right in Ghana. Where does the law stand on abortion?
Okay. Thank you very much. As Mr. Mohammed had actually addressed the first, second, third, and then the fourth questions, we would move straight to our sponsors who actually helped us to bring you this show. And then the first person who is holding on to the line is Mihia Online Deals. Now, Mihia Online Deals, they deal in, online shopping. If you want phones, accessories, home accessories, irons, name it, anything, just hit on them, reach out to them. Now, their numbers and then their location will be panning out on the screen. Just take their numbers and reach out to them. And I'm sure that they will make a safe delivery, because my phone here, they were the people who actually delivered it to me. And then I can assure you of safe transaction. Now, the second person is Fally's Loaded Treats. Yesterday, I was so hungry that I didn't have an option just to, reach out to her, and then she delivered safely. They deal in loaded fries, loaded cheese, theosophy, and name it. Every food that you want to take, just reach out to them. As for her too, she is also located at Madina Estates, and then her number will be also panning on the screen. Just take her number and then reach out to her, and then she will deliver safely for you. So, Mr. Mohammed, now let's move straight to the fifth question that says that how are Ghana's abortion laws enforced, and what are the consequences for women who undergoes illegal abortions?
Generally, let us set the point clear that issues of abortion, when found culpable, is a second-degree felony. In fact, when you undergo abortion without recourse to what the law says, which ordinarily means you've undergone unsafe abortion and illegal upon the face of the law, then you are culpable for a second-degree felony.
What does it mean? What does it mean to be culpable of second-degree felony?
Well, we have felonies in this country.
Okay.
Felonies are classified depending on the severity of your offense.
Okay.
For instance, we have first-degree felony, which spans between the imprisonment of between 7 to 25 years, sometimes even for life. Issues of high treason and treason are first-degree felonies.
Okay.
But issues of abortion, specifically under Section 58(3), it's a second-degree felony where one can be liable for a term of imprisonment up to 5 years imprisonment.
Okay.
So once you engage in unsafe abortion, you are, under the umbrella of someone who had committed a second-degree felony.
Okay, so that means that if these people who actually engage in buying pills from the drugstore or a pharmacy shop, when you are found, you can be jailed for that term of imprisonment.
The pharmacy owner is only exculpated when it is a description or a recommendation by a doctor. But where in that position as a drug shop seller without any qualification as either a physician or a pharmacist, then you are also culpable.
So it means you are going to arrest the owner of the drugstore, and then that
Yes,
person.
so that comes to the topic of abetment,
Okay.
attempt, conspiracy, name it, to commit abortion.
All right.
Yes.
I think the discussion is actually going on well, and you guys are actually following the concept of what we are trying to bring to you guys. So let me see your comments under the comment section. Is it safe to have illegal abortion, or do you feel like you still have the right to go to any pharmacy shop and then tell them that you need an abortion pill to abort a baby, or an unwanted pregnancy, or let's say a not prepared pregnancy? So, Mr. Mohammed, let's move straight to our seventh question that says that what are the current challenges and gaps in accessing safe and legal abortion services in Ghana?
All right. So when I began this discussion, I made it clear that the point of focus for our discussion is going to focus specifically under Section 58 and Section 67.
Okay.
In fact, when we come to the loopholes and the gaps in Ghanaian context or Ghanaian jurisprudence, when it relates to issues of abortion, then we can even find a loophole under Section 67. In fact, Section 67 is to the effect that when someone wants safe and legal abortion, and a doctor who is qualified and registered undergoes such abortion in good faith and without negligence, that person is not culpable. But in fact, we all understand that the issues of good faith and negligence is a very broad topic that, when even expatiated, we can cite issues where doctors themselves can behave in any way to come under the umbrella of good faith and negligence, and then the person takes for free. And so I believe that the laws regulating whether or not a doctor can have the chance to escape liability when the person undergoes treatment or surgical treatment for someone wanting to access safe and legal abortion must be broadened up. In fact, I would even suggest that we have a legislation sponsored by Parliament to expatiate more on the channels that are regulated or the channels that are available when it comes to safe and legal abortion. And in fact, the law should expatiate more on Section 58 and Section 67 to have a clear cut to the processes, to the framework, to the opportunities, and even the aftermath of undergoing surgical abortion. What does the law say? What does the state says about that? Do we quarantine you and give you some physiological support and emotional support? What do we do? All of these are missing. And I believe that going forward, we can have a legislation that talks specifically about issues of abortion as done in South Africa. So we can adopt such strategies to have a complete legislation which talks about the mode, even the types, even the procedures, even, issues of doctors who are act negligent and without good faith but still would want to come under the umbrella of Section 67 are completely addressed. So we can fix the loopholes and make sure that parents who want safe and legal abortion have access to it. In fact, as a right under the Constitution.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohammed. And the eighth question I would want to ask is that how does Ghana's approach to abortion compare to that of other African countries or international human rights standards?
This is a very interesting topic, and it will take a little bit of our time when we want to discuss what the international community, by extension, what other countries have when it comes to safe and legal abortion. But let us just make points clear that there are countries where abortion is generally legal.
Like it's legal for you to
Generally
do abortion.
legal. An example of such country is South Africa.
It's in this African continent.
Yes, yes. In fact, they have an act called the Choice of Termination Act 1996.
Okay.
This act permits any individual, in fact, a lady who is pregnant, to undergo safe and legal abortion.
Wow.
And the patient is not expected to provide any reason once the fetus is not up to 13 weeks. So if you are pregnant in South Africa and it's not up to 13 weeks, you can just go to the hospital and tell the doctor that I'm coming under the right or under the act, which is Act 1996, which is the Choice to Termination Act, to undergo surgical or
So you
legal
can
abortion.
just come there
Yes,
within a period of 13 weeks to say, I don't actually want this baby
exactly,
again.
without providing any reason. But where the pregnancy is above 13 weeks, then the law permits you to provide certain reasons, which even includes economic hardship. So you can even rely on an economic hardship in South Africa to terminate a pregnancy.
If that thing is supposed to be adopted by this country, people are going to
Well,
abort their
yes,
babies
in
here
fact,
and there because of.
yes. As I understand why it is peculiar to South Africa. I
Okay.
understand. But let us just take ourselves to the people who claim to have rights all over in the world, which is obviously the United States of America.
Okay.
In fact, their approach to abortion has been very interesting. And in fact, there is this play about the Republican and Democratic Party,
Yeah,
which obviously is the Trump's party, and then former ex-president Joe Biden and former Trump's party, which relates to the Democratic Party and Republican Party. In fact, the Republicans have always spoken against abortion. That has been the general position of the Republicans. The Democrats. But the Republicans have always gone against abortion. So when you come to US, the Democratic Party have always supported abortion. They have put measures in place to make sure that the philosophies of their party composes the right to abortion. The Republicans have disagreed otherwise. But let us not look at the philosophical context of the two parties, but look at what the law actually says in this context. In fact, there is a case called Roe versus Wade.
Okay.
Yes, this particular case deals specifically with the issues of abortion in the United States of America. It provided for a chance where parents can have access to safe and legal abortion. In fact, in the US, that particular case sets the right straight for there to be a federal law or a federal framework which regulates abortion. It means that among the states in United States of America, no state has the right to regulate abortion, but abortion is regulated by federal law, which means that the chances of abortion is controlled by the central government. And in fact, there were limited instances where a parent could be denied abortion, very limited under the federal law. But just in 2022, the Supreme Court of United States of America overturned the decision of Wade in the case of Dupes versus what do we call it, Jackson, where the Supreme Court stated that look, issues of abortion must be left to the independent states. And so this decision had made it clear to the extent that there are certain states in the United States of America that does not permit abortion. An example of a state that doesn't permit abortion is Louisiana and even Alabama or Alaska. All these countries does not permit safe and legal abortion. But when you come to a state like Ohio, New York, you can have access to safe and legal abortion.
Okay.
So the combined effect of the case of Jackson is to the extent that issues of abortion have been left to the individual states to regulate what in their context is abortion, what in their context is safe and legal abortion, what in their context should be permitted by law, and what in their context shouldn't be permitted by law. So all in all, in the United States of America, as we speak, by the combined effects of the case of Jackson, certain states have allowed abortion, such as New York and Ohio. Certain states out of Louisiana have criminalized abortion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohammed. I mean, it's been a great time having you on board on the Pinpoint TV, and as the show comes to an end, I urge each and everyone who had subscribed and yet to subscribe that there is a channel that we deal with, outlying complex legal issues. Like the matter of abortion like this is something that the people of Ghana feels like it's their right. Some of the people even think that so far as I have the right of having sex, why don't I have the right of terminating the pregnancy? But today, Mr. Mohammed had expatiated on that fact and made us understand that in as much as you have the right of having sex in your homes, the right of having an abortion is restricted in Section 58 of Act 29. So, Mr. Mohammed, thank you for joining the Pinpoint Law Series. And as you know, I mean, you're a busy person, and you know that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to meet me today to have this discussion on this Pinpoint TV.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, maybe some other time I could get to invite you.
Sure.
So, if you have anybody to shout out to, anybody to call upon, parents, friends,
everybody who had helped me to this extent, especially my mom,
okay,
and my siblings, my family, my classmates, my friends and family. That is it.
Oh, that specifically group, is it group 2?
All of them. We are a group.
Okay.
We are a group. So group 1 and group 2.
That's really nice.
I think that is it. My family specifically, my classmates and my friends. Yeah, that is it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I would also want to take maybe just this space to thank the crew members, Mr. Patrick, Mr. James, Mr. Kespress, who is the owner of Mihia Online Deals, and then I mean we get to see some other time. And thank you for subscribing to the Pinpoint TV, and we could meet on the other episode too. So
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sure.